That if ZETA win this entire thing, he will get Laz tattooed on his buttocks. It's time to find out.
Both
Mitch,
of them.
Tom, both of them. Take it away. I'm excited to hear you guys.
Thanks so much, Ian. We've already started this one off. We've seen the barriers go up, and it's ZETA division on that defense, forced out of C. They're going to give it up and play the retake, while C9 quickly take that space. Now, hold on. It looks like Oxy's on his way through to help out, but the help isn't needed. Laz is the first man to fall, and that might just slow down ZETA's retake plan.
Yeah, already the first kill for Curry, the stand-in of this one. You've got Kayada as well, who's just swinging back in. Look at him try to do it. Oh, no, how he's got a third kill there. What a start for the youngster. One of the academy players coming into the team, and that was absurd.
That's absolutely unbelievable. I mean, I had a lot of question marks around Kayada and what we were going to see from this man, but if that's anything to go by, hey, we might be right. ZETA have built the perfect roster. What a start.
Depp's nervous.
Yeah. Oh, he's getting scared.
This on. I feel like, oh.
He's reading the fine print in his contract
hey,
now.
Guys, I'm actually available now. Do you want to come back?
I'll be there for next round, something out. That's unreal. What a start. And you can only imagine being a young player stepping onto this stage in front of a home crowd, and you come out with a 3K in the pistol. We're going to keep a close eye on this guy.
He's already looking to hype them up as well. We saw in the video earlier. He was the one that sometimes doesn't get out of bed on time.
Yeah, I feel it. I feel my spirit animal.
Yeah, unfortunately, if you do that, you're not doing that, though.
That's the problem. Yeah. I'm not going to wake up late and get a 3K off rip. Nice start. Those were wall bangs onto Curry. Laz, I like your style, my man. I can get behind that.
This is something that, obviously, if you don't know who Laz is, where have you been? But this guy is what I'd like to call a sweaty nerd. That's why I'm a big fan. I've always been a big fan of Nats, because he's just a sweaty nerd who practices lots of stuff. For now, though, it has been an investment. Bear in mind, C9 have put their cards on the table, invested their money into this round, gone for those stingers, something that we know Vanity has always been a fan of. And they've taken quick garage control, looking to try and split towards that C side. But there's been a heavy rotation already from ZETA.
Yeah, that Viper utility slowed them down enough that Uran could get the rest of his teammates into support. Kayada moving to the other side of the map, though. He's back over on A. 3 players ready to defend this C site. And it looks like C9 are still set on crunching in. Sugar Zero might have first contact, and it all comes down to timing. You see him putting down some of his utility to block off C long. It's going to be a fantastic help with 35 seconds left. Yeah. C9 have to run through utility and hope that they hit their shots in some of these fights. And Sugar's even got a safe space inside that smoke to hide out.
Yeah, they put the cove down just to try and hold them, but they're being wrapped on. That's the major danger. The surrounding coming in from behind, and it's Zeppa with a quick double. Make that 3. Looking to match his man pound for pound through the smoke. Goes Kayada, a little bit risky, but in this scenario you can understand. And a flawless round breakback from C9. What a way to get back on the table.
They left one gap on the side of ZETA. It was the walk-through of Garage, the movement towards spawn. They gambled. And actually, if you look at it, they held that for what, 30, 40, 50 seconds maybe?
Oh, yeah. We were at the 30-second mark when they went for that push. But I like the patience as well. And that's the thing from C9. There's 2 ways to play against this Viper Harbor. Either you just blast through their utility, just disrespect it completely early stages of the round, or you do what they did. You play very patiently, wait for them to burn it out, and then you have to be really confident in their executions. And they were.
Yeah, absolutely they were. They had the patience, they had the self-belief. And now they've got the opening duels. Not the first one, but the trades are clean. With Jake finding a double. The ZETA squad isn't actually thinned out that much, but C9 are being very meticulous about pushing this site. Using their utility to spot out these players. Flash used up, and it's a close flash. They know there's a player in the corner. They spotted Sugar Zero with that flash, and now they can move on to site, knowing that Laz is somewhere close by. What a shot! Laz rips their heads off. They'll be shot in the back, but it's down to a 1v1. Hero Run could be the savior of this round. One well-placed shot, 3 HP, and it won't be enough. So close to a bite back for ZETA, but C9 will steam into the lead.
We saw in that hype package earlier, Cracks managing to get that collab. Yeah. We've already seen one in this. Still ridiculously costly. Bear in mind that obviously quite a lot of finances were built up from C9 winning themselves that force, so they're not in too much danger in terms of their money for the next round. But that's going to be some decent ultimate orbs and also a lot of repurchases needed. So ZETA not in the worst spot whatsoever, but they're going to want to break back soon. Especially after you lose a second round, it's really just hard to get that confidence straight back.
Well, it seems like there's a bit of a favorite from C9 in terms of what side of the map they're looking to work. Consistently moving in on C, but they're using that as a bait in this round, putting out their utility there, hoping that it drags some pushes, maybe on mid, or maybe here on A long. Player spotted out, Kaeda out of here.
Uh-oh.
He's gonna be in trouble though. The smoke should give him a safe haven to fall back, and indeed, he avoids getting punished. I like the idea from C9 in the early round. Now it's down to the mid stages, and I'm not sure where they can go from here because they haven't got the reward for any of their previous aggression, and they've given up a lot of map control.
A plant here from Vanity could be huge, though. That's going to be Rolling Thunder online. Well, Oxy's gone. The spam from Sugar Zero does its job. They're looking to potentially aggress further. This A-Link, but they met by 3 players. Hero Run just landing every shot. Now it's left all on to Curry. Stand in 1v5. He's got 2 already, Mitch. This would be one for the history books.
It really would. On 18 HP, a devastating blow to ZETA.
Oh, he can't go that way.
Yeah, that one is unfortunately blocked off for now. 32 seconds, spike down, 18 health.
30 seconds
and a
left.
rifle that, you know, it's not like they're struggling for cash on the C9 side, but with such limited opportunities, I think he is making the right call to go and save this weapon, carry it through the next. But a good fight back from ZETA, and we have not just seen Kaeda come in with a fantastic start. Laz had the collat. Hero Ron very close to winning out round 3, and now comes in completely denying the aggression from C9. These are very good signs for what ZETA can bring to the table further down the line.
Well, that's the thing. The Hero Run, I feel like, of the new players that we've got, is the one where my expectations are already reasonably high. Young player, 18 years of age, played on Fennel through the Ascension qualifiers, got very, very close. I think they got into that lower bracket final before they eventually fell, so top 3 in the entirety of it. It gets quite difficult from then onwards when you've got teams like Bleed and Scars in there. But the fact is, he looked very good. So him being picked up is not a surprise. Kaede being this good very, very early on is fantastic, though, because you look for information on him and Uran, and you're talking about that one match that they played versus another Academy team. That's about all we've got. You can talk to a few people, but it doesn't give you much.
Yeah, there's not a lot of hard data to pull from, but from what we're seeing so far, they're definitely up to the mark. ZETA 2-2. Neck and neck with their opponents. Economy on the line for both teams. This is a very important round. That's why the Rolling Thunder is committed. And up close, Laz has no chance. Quick punish by Oxy, and the side is theirs.
Yeah, nice execution. That Rolling Thunder always going to give you that entry, that space at a minimum. Spam coming back through has done quite a lot of damage, though, and they're using these high tides to take space. But behind it lies the C9 roster. Oxy will close out 3 in the retake. It's failed tremendously. Put ZETA now financially in a bit of trouble. They could potentially invest into maybe a single rifle if they wanted to, but it seems like we're just going to be sat there with Kaeda on the Blade Storm, which, you know what? He had an explosive start. Hasn't done anything since.
Yeah, look, it's been a couple of tough rounds, and a lot of these times you're seeing him late to the party. He's on A, he's playing A long, they're pushing C consistently. They're trying to bait him into aggression, which means he can't feel comfortable. Look at that in the replay. Oxy certainly has a smile on his face. I saw it even 30 seconds after that round concluded. He was still smiling ear to ear. Yeah, he still is now, actually. I see him there. He's having a great time. And I think that's as well the youth and the experience playing on this level as well, showing through that this is a big opportunity for him. And having a round like that, certainly going to get the confidence flowing. But like you say, Tom, on the other side, that jet of Kaeda, we need to see him step up to the plate in the coming rounds.
But this is the thing about this sort of venue. Obviously, we've had Ian with us sort of hyping everything up to a ridiculous degree, but that is his job. Whereas I'm a bit more, I would say down to earth, but some would say miserable.
Yes.
And even I'm sat here in this arena. We've spoken to Kanyang. Kanyang, if you don't know, owner of DRX, he's been around the block. He's been there
knows
in
esports.
Previous games. He's owned multiple teams, and he came up to us and went, you understand how historic this venue is. For esports as a whole, like being able to have these players within the stage when normally it's men literally fighting each other to throw each other to the ground. We're going to see that on like esports played here is a ridiculous way to look at things, and just how many people, like we're talking about the middle of a day on a Friday. There are a lot of people already in this building, and it's only going to go up from here. So the fact is, for these players, this genuinely could be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. There may be
100%.
There may be events that, in terms of the VCT, have more stature, but in terms of a venue in Tokyo with esports being played here, I don't know if there's anywhere that sort of has that same level to it.
I mean, obviously, Tom, this is both of our first times in Tokyo, and the crazy thing about it was once we knew we were
Tough
coming.
to beat.
Yeah, isn't it? Isn't it? Good luck. Good luck to the next event.
Yeah.
The thing is, I was looking at a lot of.
Come back to Manchester, guys.
I don't know. So I was scribbling down some notes on where I wanted to go. The places to visit, and this was one of them. And then we heard where the venue was. I was like, "I'm sorry, you must be mistaken. We're going to get a tour of it or something."
There's also the Sword Museum next door. Like, just this area in general. If you go literally just round the corner, there's this beautiful, picturesque little park. Like,
yeah, I saw.
I've enjoyed just exploring this, even for the couple of days we've been here. But we're back in. Enough waffle about the arena and everything going on. We don't want to get too excited. We've still got Valorant to be played and 7 more maps. Individual matches after this as well. Here we go. It's been a great start for C9, breaking back, and now, as said, Finances not in a great position. We are looking at Kaeda for this round.
Whoops. Well, wish we weren't looking at Uran for that snake bite, but you know, it's okay. We'll pretend we didn't see it. He's got an opportunity in the corner, but with a pistol. Okay, never mind. I shouldn't have doubted him. A quick double. Laz and Sugar Zero follow suit, and again, it's on to Curry. A 1v5, some weapons even recovered. Uran has got a Viper's Pit. He might not want to use it here, but if anything goes awry, if a couple of players are picked off, he can just put down the Viper's Pit, use up his, he's already used his snake bite. Of course, we saw that towards Garage. It's a little shaky, but lock down the spike. There's no way back in for Curry here. He's locked out of this round, short of the performance of his life.
Yeah, it's just absurd. Also, by the way, the Bladestorm, I don't think got a single kill in that. That was multiple Sheriff kills and a Classic kill. So the one really dangerous thing was the only player to die and got headshotted while updrafting.
30 seconds left.
Curry doesn't have a lot he can really do here, but they have the finances to buy in the next round anyway, so you might as well try and do a little bit of damage. Letting them save all of these weapons would be huge, but there you go. Thrifty round 1, big stuff coming out of ZETA.
You know, 1v2s like that, it was technically a 1v2 fight with that Sheriff. Typically, Prius has had trouble in the past. But I'm going to excuse him, because if he had anticipated that, I would start to think he's like Doctor Strange.
You know he didn't observe that.
I think he did. You know, we have a rule where whenever something like that happens, we just say Prius is observing.
Yeah, he loves it. He really does.
He enjoys it so much. There'll be 1vx's later. He'll have his chance to prove himself.
He's gonna beat you up. You know that, right?
He is. You know, I have a few gripes with Prius from the last couple days. I need to iron out.
All right. Okay.
We're on good terms, but we'll find an Irish pub. 3-3. ZETA they're looking fantastic, honestly. Matching pound for pound so far. Individuals have popped off, not just 1 or 2. It's been across the board. I like the setup here. Alarm bot down on short. Nano as well, that's kept them back. It divides the attackers. Oxy's already fallen, and they don't have that 2-pronged approach to try and trade him out. It's slowed them, and it's left them to try and use something like a lockdown to regain that space. What is the idea here, though? Are they going to push back on ZETA? They want to deny that lockdown. There's players caught, stunned up close. Hero run, not good for the kills, though.
They didn't all get out of there.
They're going to catch him.
Sugar Zero stunned. The operator coming around to try and defend him, and actually,
nice.
The Cosmic Divide has helped out. The thing is, though, that trade actually helped C9. Just giving up the site would have been a better advantage for ZETA. Obviously, I don't mind them attempting something off the back of the Reckoning. But now it might be theirs.
They're not watching this.
Uran come round from behind. This kill should be for free, but the timing's a little bit off against him. Gets rid of Jake. Vanity hiding in the back. Well, it's actually Sugar Zero to get the kill. Curry, though, looking to hold on into this 1v1 scenario. Spotted his opponent isn't actually on the spike anymore. He's just getting that information, and Sugar Zero starting to run out of time. He needs Curry to make a mistake, and even just looks to stick it to half. Bullets not quite being connected, but even still, that clock is ticking. Curry fainting him down, but I think Sugar Zero might just have it. It's gonna be close, but he will get it over the line.
What an incredible round for ZETA. I love the idea. Look, pushing into the lockdown, I don't mind it. When you have that ultimate to use, when you see it's connecting the stuns, that was just a great response from C9, showing their individual ability. Again, that Killjoy utility from the defenders of ZETA initially slowed down the push. It cut up what C9 were trying to do. They had to go to a second game plan. And overall, this was just clean start to finish. Curry, though, almost had his 4K clutch. He's had a few opportunities, if you even want to call them that, but this one was very nearly realized.
Now things get a little bit more interesting for C9. Financially, it's not the best. Bladestorm available for Oxy if he wants to try and invest it into this round, and looking like they might put a few extra weapons on the table. For ZETA, though, it's been a great breakback, and that's the fact of the matter. They've been able to do a lot with their low-buy rounds. In fact, I think those have been the better rounds for them thus far. Just been able to get things done with the pistols. Clearly, a lot of talented youngsters with those sheriffs. C9, they're going to take themselves a tactical pause. As said, they started this game strong, but a few blips, maybe a few nerves out on the stage in Tokyo. And he's going to have words.
You know, the thing is, though, if you look at a lot of these rounds that ZETA are winning, like even the fact that they had Uran coming up through short, and they make the call perfectly timed to not only start making noise in spawn, start moving out to site, but also to smoke it off to divide the site so that these players aren't able to take that fight. And the point of contact is still Uran for anybody that's further back in the site. That was gorgeous play. And I think you have to commend ZETA for what they're putting out already. A tactical pause out of C9. And the key thing being that this is on Haven, somewhere that historically ZETA didn't do too well. Again, you're rebuilding, you're re-looking at everything. But coming in with this composition as well, it certainly had our eyebrows raised. But we're starting to realize that it looks like ZETA have done their time. They've done their homework when it comes to running this on Haven.
I'd say as well, especially a lot of the time with new squads, that defensive side can be a little bit more difficult, just not having those same proper structures for your defense. Your calling might not be the best in terms of rotations, and if anything, getting into that attack side, that's where someone like Laz can just lead them. Just tell them, okay, you need to do this, you need to do this. So the fact that they've already got a decent amount of rounds to start with over on that defensive side. As said, though, Oxy, Bladestorm in hand. Curry's got himself a Guardian, and they've already shown that they can thrive with the Stingers.
I'm going to crack open a can of Red Bull, Tom. This could be a long one. I talked about favorites when we looked at the schedule earlier, but C9, they're not playing like it right now. It looks like a pretty even matchup. Oxy wants to take matters into his own hands. What a shot! And now the advantage for C9, thinned out slightly with Curry falling, but they're happy to have that B site. They want to push in further, though. More aggression out of the side of C9 as Oxy really realizes his full potential. 2 players left and an ace potentially on the board for this man. He's certainly got the point of contact for some of these fights, and the op in hand now, as well as the Bladestorm back up the shot. Missed a Bladestorm returns, and it was so close. Uran, this clutch, it's not expected, and it's not delivered.
I'm almost dying if Zepa should just use that gun all the time. His stinger seems to be on point. And honestly, we might be here in Japan, but Oxy, I think he just imitated a Korean jet. Like that was truly ridiculous, just dashing around. That second shot, I'm honestly, it almost looked like the guy was behind a wall, but we're not playing that FPS.
Yeah, that was unreal, man. I mean, the one tap on him as well. It was just so perfect. 4-4 now. And C9, you know, it was a thrifty round, but off the back of a Bladestorm mostly, and then recovered weapons start to play a role. Even though it was a stinger to close out the round, the damage was very much done at that point. You can see Kaida, he has to play the judge.
He got all of his kills in the pistol.
Yes,
that's a bit worrying. Obviously, he's someone as well that, as said, we expect him to be standing in for this event for Depp. We know that Depp, he's had his ups and downs, but more recently, Depp was playing fantastically well. Like, in fact, one of the games getting the kill record, so we know that he's definitely a big piece to be missing in this tournament. And for Kaida, it's a lot of pressure, because for everybody else on the team, you're talking about people who are signed for next year. They are going to be playing next year. Sugar Zero, we know that. Laz, we know that. So the fact is, for Kaida, this is a position where he can actually make a mark. Not necessarily, maybe it's for getting opportunities to play for the main ZETA team. Maybe it's even enticing a couple of the other teams here, like up against a Fennel or a Scars and go, hey, do you want to loan me out? Because you don't want to leave ZETA, for obvious reasons. I don't think anybody wants to leave ZETA, but yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting to see if he can step up to the plate, because that first round, I think he showed us there's skill there.
For sure.
But he's just been very quiet since.
Yeah, that's the thing. And as time goes on, you have to remember, and we've all had those ranked games, the pistol goes great, and then you finish with the same amount of kills in that half. It really starts to...
Or it doesn't go great, and you have the same amount of kills as Vanity.
Oh. that was just
He's been on a desk with me, so I feel
It's just there was no need though, Tom.
And I've interviewed him, so I can smack talk him as much as I like.
Well, we'll ask him about that later. I'll click. Can we
He
click
will
this
never
for later?
see this.
We'll
Never see
let's
it.
bring this up in an interview. But the thing is, it starts to get really tough because as time goes on, your confidence really starts to take a beat down. And I think for this squad, you know, especially for someone like Kaida, you want that confidence to be high in front of the crowd, and it only compounds on a LAN, in front of a crowd, in front of a home crowd, and so on. And you can see that C9 are very much trying to make some noise and see what the reaction is from ZETA. This is a real litmus test being put into work from C9. And ZETA aren't giving them anything, really. It's the C long push, but that's not going to be spotted for quite a while. It looks like they'll reset into an A push. Unfortunate for Kaida with a judge, but an opportunity for Hero Ron to show us some of this skill again. He was fantastic in some of the previous rounds. Now the challenge is most certainly coming his way. You can see those attackers barreling down A long.
Yeah, he might be on the sky, but he's used to playing this Sentinel solo on the site, but so much util put in his face. Sugar Zero, though, has given him an angle to hide behind, and then drops down from above! A second shot straight through the smoke, and they're trying to aggress, though. Uran goes down to utility. Again, C9 managed to turn this back. And, okay, it might not be the judge. He's done it with a classic.
Yeah, I was kind of worried seeing that on the minimap, but then we swap and he's just tapping heads with the classic. Fair enough. Lockdown going to be used. They'll regain a lot of space, and it's very predictable where these players are going to go, at least you'd imagine. Looks like Zepp is going the long way around, and he's, well...
Yeah, he's just being detained.
Going to be detained, yeah. So it's now only one player to worry about. The stun coming out from Vanity. He's going to try to catch them, and yeah, a beautiful shot connected. He's very much on the board with a Rolling Thunder. He can save the round single-handedly. It looked like it could have been a little bit scary, but in the end, I don't think there's too much of a threat to be played. The time starting to run very, very low. Zepp is back in the round with rifle in hand, and he's even got a flash. He can run this way down. There's no chance for Laz to win. Maybe he can survive. Got to run fast.
Yeah, I actually wonder if there was maybe a little bit of miscommunication there, because one player's detained, and then you actually see the Laz taps the spike, and then they see where the stun comes from. So that's where I think he should just be sticking it to half. Rely on his teammate to at least do some of the work, then he has a bit more time on the board. So maybe a little bit of, again, this is a brand new team. We expect there to be a few synergy issues. But this seems to be the issue at the moment for ZETA. Like, a lot of the initial takes, they're finding these openers. Like, Sugar Zero does a fantastic job. Jumps out of heaven, gets a kill, and then kills a second guy through the smoke. And then instantly Cloud9 get a response. Great utility placement. Half of Vanity's kills now come from an aftershock.
That is accurate. Yeah, well, to be fair, very important aftershock kill, Tom.
Yes, true.
Wouldn't have won the round without it, so.
They've got Sheriffs, Mitch. Are you more or less confident in ZETA?
Less with the Sheriff.
Really?
Yes. Yeah, I know we've seen some collat kills, but I think that
they've won 2 rounds.
You've already run out of steam in that.
Also, they almost won a third. I'm more confident in them.
Well, I think the main thing about it is they're stacking up in a lot of these rounds. They've had early rotations on C, for example, when we saw that beautiful double kill come in from Uran. But the reality is right now the stack is on A. And it looks like C9, although they're being patient, have eyes on the C side, or at least they're trying to drag rotations. Uran, great opening shot. Ooh. But Vanity,
there he is.
Now a quarter of his kills have been that aftershock. Even a stun put down. So they are moving towards the stack, but they're dealing with it very well so far. Just have to see if Kaida can get anything, but they're again expecting him to be around this area. And he's got him! What is going on with these pistols? Vanity has to do most of the work, if not all. Already 4 kills under his belt. Laz up close, will catch him out. Another! I was wrong to doubt them with the pistols in hand. ZETA are a menace.
Can you say that one more time? What do you say?
Said I was less confident, Tom. Said I was less confident.
Oh my God. Laz on the stage getting a clutch. Doesn't get much better than that for the ZETA fans. But again, Uran mentioned him as like, again, another one of these academy players has come up. We don't have much on. His Sheriff is filthy. He's just styling with it.
That was a mid pick as well, right? He just swung out B. That's the kind of move your ranked teammate makes, and then you're molding at him like, why wouldn't we play numbers?
You're playing Viper. Why are you swinging him in with a Sheriff?
We need your util. But no, they don't. They need his Sheriff, man. And I don't know why they've gone for rifles. They need to abandon the fully automatic. Maybe they just go for one taps from here on out.
Guardians.
Guardians only.
Guardians.
Scream is foaming right now at the mouth. Hearing that the Guardian
if
net
you
is
say
back
Rain,
for ZETA.
he's like, oh.
Oh, yes. Nice angle. Kaya did not expect it up close. He's flashed, he's dashed, and now he's still here. Laz supporting, and they've got them all. 4 kills, leaving just Curry, and no chance for success. ZETA have the lead back in their hands just as we get to the end of the half. 1 round to play for. And a great defense already.
This is such a weird game. Like, I genuinely, like, in my head, C9 are winning. Like, if you get what I mean.
Yeah,
like, by the way that they're playing, their executions have definitely been better. A lot of the time, you're seeing that synergy looks better from them as well. They've had some explosive rounds, and then they just lose to Sheriffs. Also, I would say their C-site pushes, they've been blitzed most of the time.
Yeah.
Like, I would say just avoid that part of the map.
Well, a different approach from ZETA, though. They're lighter on C, leaving B open just with the turret watching the cross, and playing for a long aggression to begin. They didn't see anybody with the flashes up there early, and so you're going to see this repositioning now. They're confident to leave a solo player on A. Holding that down will be Laz. His responsibility is to play that rotation in the late round or a retake of A and use the lockdown. Remember, it's the last round, so you want to put everything on the line here. Use your ultimates. And with a lockdown on each team, they'll almost cancel each other out. If the positions are right, that's so unfortunate. And the risk of spamming through a smoke with a Vandal.
Yeah, definitely had its risks, and oh, they're punished for it. Again, falling back, taking their time, C9 making their push forward.
Steps heard.
Only one man really here. He's going to use the lockdown, realizing he doesn't have a lot of support, so just trying to buy as much time as possible, but they're pushing this, trying to get rid of it. But they've walked into Laz instead. 2 kills already, but again, the trades come back through. Sugar Zero gone. Laz still sat at the back of this site. They got rid of the lockdown in the move, so that's not going to be a problem, at least for the attackers. And finally, they managed to deal with Laz, but he took 3.
He ran past the alarm, but they were just out of range. They think they're back secure. They thought they'd have a few more seconds, but no. And with the lockdown destroyed, this is a huge problem. Jake has to just plant this, has to go for it. 10 seconds left, and they can peek him one by one. There's the flash, the attempted plant again, and now they just need to swing it. There's no chance to pull that across the line. 7-5, the advantage in ZETA's court as we end the first half.
I'm really impressed with Uran. Really, really impressed. As I said, this is the player coming from the academy, a young superstar of the future. But that's the thing, we're thinking of the future. Like, it almost looked like this project from ZETA was like, okay, let's get them playing with the main team, see if we can build something, maybe over the next couple of years. Yep. Sort of like what Heretics is doing. They've got a lot of young stars that they have to mold. This guy, like, the thing is, he takes that 1 kill on long, instantly falls back, repositions completely. Like, that's something you expect more experienced players to do. Players who've been around a while, not someone who's probably first time on a stage in front of a few thousand Japanese fans.
And you know, the really interesting part about it is we've seen a couple of rounds, more than 2 for sure. I think I can remember 3 rounds where Uran is coming behind the opponents. Yeah. What I can't remember is a round where he got overzealous, tried to go behind them and got caught. He has a really good read on when to take that space and when to play the safer rotations and support his teammates. So that discipline isn't often seen from a player as young and as new to this caliber of play as him.
But that's the thing. I think, obviously, it's not to just harp on another player on the team, but you look at the difference between him and Kayada, and there's a clear difference. Like, he's so just taking mass risks. He is also on Jet, so you kind of expect that a little bit more. But it is great to see. And as I said, this is a very early litmus test for this ZETA roster. Like, you've looked at a lot of the other Pacific teams making big roster moves. Yay, to name one. So the fact that some of the players are looking pretty good on this roster already is a great sign. Of course, now they're going to that attack side. We've mentioned it in terms of the leadership. Laz in the past has been a leader in and outside of the game for this team. But this will definitely be interesting to see how it's going to work on the attack, because let's be real, there's no slouches on the other side. Curry, the standing currently top of the board for the team. A little bit quieter out of the likes of Jake, and even Zeppa. Like, I know Zeppa's 9 and 9. I expect Zeppa to be dropping like 20 kills. That's where this guy sits for me. So I'm interested to see if he'll be able to step up and just look at where the defenders are. They're about to push mid. Oh, hello.
Yeah. Oh, couple wall bangs, but this isn't
Guys,
really the
they
round.
Are mid.
That's not the round where wall bangs play a big
How do
role.
you say mid in Japanese?
Don't know. I tried to dig deep for that knowledge. Kaida! The pistol!
Pistol God.
It seems to be just something special. The magic formula for this man is he's already done well to find 2. There's a 3rd. Triple kills in each pistol. That's something to boost your confidence. Let's see if he can keep it going. As this map continues, ZETA extend their lead. Now 3 rounds ahead of C9.
Maybe that's what it is. Coach Carlisle, he's gone in there, hasn't had much time with the roster. He goes, Kaida, your job, win the pistol.
I mean, look, if you've picked him up, we've heard of players being swapped in and out for different maps. Like, oh, he's our Ascent guy, he's our Bind guy, this is our pistol player.
Yeah, 60% of his kills are in the pistols.
So far, there's still a lot of rounds to be played, or maybe not that many if ZETA keep this up. C9, got to be sweating a little bit now, but look, the stack from C9, it's on C, and everybody from ZETA is moving towards this side of the map. Kaida does well to find the first, but with the utility that came back at them, they realized there's probably a few more players there than they'd like. Ooh. I like the attempt from Jake in this kind of round. Remember what Uran did in a round very similar, swung out on B, grabbed the headshot. This time it just didn't work out for Jake. And they have heard that orb being taken. They know that Vanity pushed up. They'll clear out these close corners on slow peaks. And then they should know that the rotations have come in. If that player pushed up, took the orb, and he's nowhere to be seen, you know that C's wide open.
Now bear in mind, the numbers you're seeing at the top under each team's name is their seeding. Cloud9 came into this seed number 3. Obviously not a lot known about the majority of these teams, but coming off the back of a win at the 10 Invitational versus the likes of DRX, EDG, expectations were fairly high. A loss off the bat, well, guarantees they won't skip a day, that's for sure. But also, could put them into a nasty lower bracket match if there are upsets to be had. Obviously, they'd probably play against one of the lower seed teams. For now, though, into that retake they go. Utility to section things off. I've been liking things from Sugar Zero so far, playing that Harbor. I think he's been excellent. Yeah. We normally talk about his Astra as his main sort of agent, one of the ones he's enjoyed in the past, and his Shorty as well. Well, there you go. Kaida, he's starting to come alive. I think he's already got more kills in this half than the last.
Back-to-back triples. It's certainly one way to start it. You know, I'd love to have Lothar here for his lab, right? Pulling out some of those breakdowns, because the Harbor play, the wall usage, the double wall usage as well, has been really nice from ZETA. Reactively on the defensive side, there were a bunch of opportunities for C9 to take space, and then they would just be robbed by a wall going down. They'd have to slow the game, rethink their plan. And we've seen that consistently throughout the first half here on the attack as well. It can be so irritating, holding down a lot of these angles. Like A-Long, if you've got an op there, typically you're going to catch them on the cross, but now they can get right up next to you using this cascade as you see them slowly make their way up A-Long. And wallbang attempts from Oxy, again, big fan of this. Some damage done, but nothing major. Looks like ZETA will be bringing their full force to the A site.
A lot of utility sat in their way. Curry will delay them for now, but the rotation not coming in for the defenders. They're not over pushing in this position. They've spotted that lurk from Laz as well, which actually, if anything, gives them information they're likely going in the other direction. He's expected to be sat on the other side as they now look to push in towards middle. Watching towards Garage, though, Oxy will now be aware as the plant is actually faked, as they now go pushing back. The stun from Vanity, fantastic. And with 45 seconds left, ZETA have to rethink the round.
For a second, I thought Oxy did well in pushing that because he had a dash online, but he didn't. Very risky, but it's especially against these kind of weapons. But it's worked out.
Oh, look at Zeppa.
I like this wall. Gonna be able to move in towards this A site, take the space. There's no way they're going back. It's gonna be late flanks that come through from Uran. He's on C. Uran is on the C site right now. The spike is going back. They've 20 seconds. They better run damn fast if they want to make it there. It might even be a reposition to B site. just a little bit closer, a little bit more manageable, but Uran has to do a remarkable job of holding this down. That wall is now fallen. They've ran out of toxins.
They've seen him.
And Uran's dead. The plant has to be stuck. The stun in. They're putting. No, he stopped it. I mean, the round is lost now. You just have to do damage. That's all you could hope for.
Will at least be able to hold on to the one gun. Kaeda seemingly coming alive a little bit more in this second half, but yeah, I definitely think just really good disruption. I will say, like, we've sort of, well, I've joked with like Vanity not being able to get the kills, but his stuns have been sublime. Like the amount we are seeing out of that fault line just to cause players issues, that's why we saw that really aggressive push coming out of Oxy, because the second that plant was attempted, Vanity puts a stun through, they have to fall back, and so he goes pushing. Hit the players while they're almost retreating, and they're doing great to just communicate through where that utility is being played. Of course, there's still rifles on the board now for ZETA, and they're going fast towards C.
Oh yeah, the pace is definitely being picked up by this squad. Dash in by Kaeda. He's spotted up close, and they've got a beautiful crossfire. C9 gaining control of this round. It's Vanity with the double. Aftershock forces them out. They've got to move, and right into the crosshair of Vanity. His fourth kill again. Some spectacular rounds from this man, but again, we will be robbed of the ace. Not to happen this time.
Who's going to get the first? That's the question. Vanity now actually moving himself right. He was 0-6 at one point, now 13-13.
He heard you, man. He heard you from down there.
You know, so like I'm just pushing him to be better. That's all it is.
You're a good coach.
Yeah.
Maybe Imi was shouting at him.
Yeah. He was
nice
like,
kills, bro.
Yeah, nice kills. You suck. Boo.
I'll sub in for the next match, yeah?
You know.
You reckon Imi could do it?
A UK CS legend. Weber managed to do it in the
Weber,
past.
Guys. We have a lot of stellar
I don't think Guys
coaches.
played UK CS.
No, I'm not quite sure about that one. I know he played Turkish regional Valorant, but our CS.
They're on a similar level as well, you know? You got Xantares and Smuya.
Yeah. Fair comparison, is it? 1-to-1. The UK scenes, it's right up there with the Turkish.
Yeah, you know?
Yeah.
Bimi does, he has a lot of experience. He has a lot of experience. He's really gone through the sort of ringer of esports to get to where he is now on a stage in Tokyo. And I'm looking forward to seeing how this roster goes with C9. I think they've got a good coach, good IGL. Like I think they've got young talent as well. So I think there's a lot of potential. I'm very sad that Whippy isn't here.
Yeah.
Because he is someone that, okay, we saw in Ascension, and for a while before we didn't see as much of. But he's someone that you go back to, like V1.
V1, yeah.
Like, he's incredible. And I think it was mainly because of the chamber meta. Like, he was someone who was a pure Sentinel player, not one of those dirty Sentinel players who played like, oh, I play Sentinel. Do you play chamber?
He's
Shut
a
up.
duelist. It's not a Sentinel. I've heard that so many times. I still cannot fathom people actually calling it a
guys, I'll play Sentinel. What are you playing? Chamber. And then that's where you click Alt F4.
Yeah.
Oh, my game crashed. Oh, that's a shame.
Someone shouted at me for locking Cypher before because they're like, we've got a chamber, we don't need it. It's like, bro, it's Haven. What are you talking about? It's back in the day. It was like Killjoy dominates the Haven play now. We've seen it on both sides. Laz with a pistol in hand, as well as
a lot of sheriffs.
All of his buddies, pistols. It's where they're dangerous.
Don't walk into Uran's crosshair.
They've got a flash, though, surely. No, but they don't on Zeppa. He's already used his, but they've got a Tiger. Could use that to try and clear out this angle. But if they walk into it, if they check it with their eyes instead of the animals, it's certainly going to cause a problem.
Okay,
Uran, though, is going to be drop blade storm used, but not found any result with that. And ZETA now have to pump the brakes.
Rolling Thunder. Yeah, he just used it to deny the plant completely. Sugar Zero's still here, but it's checked by Zeppa as well. Looking clean this time from the side of C9. Not taking any chance. And you know what? I don't mind the Rolling Thunder when you've lost the rounds. You've lost to these sort of pistols.
Yes.
Just wanting to try and create a concrete economy. Laz is going to manage one. I don't know how Hero Run has got here. Oh, it's half checked. Oh, it's always costly. Every single time someone on ZETA does damage with the pistols, and it was finally looking like they were going to have a dream start to this half, but it's damaged again.
Going to go ahead and say that's why he used the Rolling Thunder, just to avoid some of those problems. You still had a guy get up close. If he snuck away with the rifle there, that's something else. You know, rounds like this are typically housekeeping, and, well, it certainly started out that way. But in the end, quite a blow dealt to the economy.
They've still got good money.
Yeah, but it's because, of how the other rounds have gone so far, right?
Yeah. And also, like, coming in with an operator and still having enough to buy next round, probably still with an operator.
Bladestorm next round, well, either he's going to save that op for next or he's going to die and have Bladestorm. So the money not even close to being a problem for the side of C9. It is a good sign, though, for ZETA still being able to do that damage on the attack side with pistols in hand. They have a lot more to do. 9 to 8, and the rifles have come out. But it's the operator that they need to be so cautious not to walk into. And so far, Oxy is not getting given any opportunities.
And as said, this is something to mention again and again. Every single this best of ones are actually really important. You win a single best of one, you've at least made it to the quarters. Even if you lose the next game, you don't go straight into the semis, it's great. You get to play tomorrow again in front of this crowd. For ZETA, that's probably all they're looking for. Like, get as far as you can, play as many times on this stage. Seekers are going to be expended. Zeppa, the first point of contact. There's 3 players there, though. I think ZETA realize it's a quick rotation back, or so it seems.
Oh.
The flash, though, perfectly timed from Zeppa to get them that extra little bit of information. Jake going to be put under pressure, but it's all a ruse to try and pull players. And it has, still, though, 2 players on A.
Yeah, but it's the op that they've pulled off of the A site. Problem is it's posted up on B, now rotating further to C. Okay, players are far away, but Curry standing strong. A quick double, Zeppa answering the call as well. And it looks like C9 have got this one wrapped up in a bow. Oxy with the op. 2 shots fired, but it sends him running into Jake. There's no chance for Uran. A 1 versus 5, barely any damage done, and a great answer from Cloud9. Now ZETA are on the back foot. The scoreline will be tied, but the economy will be struggling.
Yeah, and this is the thing. I'd said, like, ZETA, I felt like they really needed to build off getting that pistol, getting that second round. Since then, it's been 4 in a row from C9, bringing this one firmly back into their favor. Few ultimates coming online, though, soon for the ZETA side. Lockdown not far away, Reckoning online, but the same can be said for C9. Bladestorm, as you mentioned, a Death Roxy will bring that online, or a single kill. And the Lockdown, Cosmic Divide, Seekers, everything getting close. Oxy, see you later.
Yeah, not so scary with the pistol when you're up against an operator. It's always a game changer. Okay. See, they got support up close. It's all a bait. Oxy's trying to make them think they can push that operator, deal the damage, but in the end, this is support from Vanity now given away by that utility thrown down, and they'll concede the space. ZETA not going to go near it. It would be foolish to take Garage at this point, but where can they go? With these pistols, it's going to be tough to find any space.
Yeah, Laz has bought a hero rifle into this round, so he's only going to have 550 credits. Leave him a little bit down in the dumps for the next, so he's still got his utility online, but starting to expend it. A plant will put him in an all-right position for the next round, and they'll get that. Now the question is, can they do anything in the afterplant? You've already got Bladestorm available. 1 kill for Curry would force them out of the site, and do they use this Reckoning? That's the question.
No, evidently not. What was that from Hero Ron? He's found one. Sugar Zero's on. This is starting to look incredibly good. Another double in this round. The Hero Ron and Sugar Zero taking it across the line with Jake left to do it all. Quick kill onto the low HP player, but defusing in the open. No smokes to back him up anymore. It's time to run. Maybe the Cosmic Divide would have been used in another world, but it probably would have been a waste. ZETA, I don't comprehend how they are so good when they come to thrifty rounds. Sure, you've got a hero rifle, but what did it do?
Zoomers.
That's
what it is, Zoomers.
Just stop buying rifles. It's a simple solution.
Just get these young stars on your team. Heron, like, this was just so clean. Like, 2 players run through at the same time, and he's able to correct quick enough to pop both their heads. Him and Uran have just, unbelievable with these pistols, and it's a round that ZETA desperately needed. Huge boost to the economy, and it keeps them in the lead for now.
I just can't believe we keep seeing this happen. C9, I can't even flame them for what's happening here. ZETA are hitting some insane shots.
If they don't lose a round to pistols, they've probably won this like 13-5.
Yeah. It's ZETA, and you know, sometimes we see losses to pistols where it's like everybody splits up and takes 1vx fights and pushes
like,
into
bang,
Garrett.
bang, boom,
Yeah, it's like they peek together, they try to trade, but it's not possible. Unreal. 10 rounds on the board, double digits breached by ZETA, and they'll look to do even more, destroying utility or attempting to inside of Garage. Not finding a ton of it. Alarm bot out of play, but those nanos were on C. Zeppa's going to use this. No, he's not. You know, they're kind of dry on information, and as time goes on and these players start to fall back, that's where I do expect to see those Seekers used, because C9 have zero info. There you go. All they know is that there's no one close to A. Seekers are gone out. That's got Oxy pushing. He wants to try and capitalize on this information, but there's an alarm bot waiting for him. No easy way past for now. There's the Tiger coming through. He's been spotted, but luckily had the dash to get out.
I think it's the time. It's starting to tick low, and you have to bear in mind the ults are in the favor of C9. A lockdown here could cause problems, but Jake's gone again. Curry still within position, holding on the best he can. They've managed to get rid of the players in the back lines, but the site has gone the way of ZETA. With seconds to spare, they'll be able to get things in, and they have a lockdown of their own. Oxy, if he's going to go, he has to move quick.
What?
He doesn't have a dash. There's no way out. There is no way out. He has to break the lockdown right now. It's not going to be possible. A mass risk, and it's not paid off.
No, that wasn't a good risk. I think you could see it from the very start. Chances of a trade still high. Zeppa, up close, he spotted the second player, but Uran was there to save the day. A very important double kill. He got the first as they entered the C site, and he got the last, tying the round up in a neat bow and putting 11-9 on the board. For ZETA, this is an unbelievable achievement already. I think looking miles better than they did way back in Champs. Slightly different roster, but to make this slightly different roster, slightly different approach to the game as well. I like this. You know, I thought that Laz and Sugar Zero would be having flashbacks when they saw Haven pop up, but evidently they're feeling good about their chances here these days.
Oh, the new blood coming in. Some of the smiliest players I've ever seen. Hero Ron, I don't think I've ever seen anyone grin as much as he has.
Yeah, he's a happy guy.
Videos. But hey, you're 18 years old, you just joined ZETA Division. I guess that's a reason to be happy.
Yeah, it's a reason to put a smile on your face, and now with, you know, a lead and a potential map under their belt, I think we'd see him smile a hell of a lot more if they win this one. Guaranteeing themselves a spot tomorrow as well in front of the crowd. A BO3 would be absolutely massive.
Yeah. I will say, though, that based on their seeding being relatively low, if they do win this, I think they'll probably play Fnatic. So we'll see if ZETA or the Fnatic Japan guys will be a little bit more popular. Unless, you know, maybe Fen will get an upset too.
That's still just their next BO1 though, right? They'd still have their BO3s further on.
They'd still make it through guaranteed to tomorrow in the quarterfinals, where, as you said, best of threes. Normally that's where you'd say the best team wins. But either way, Cloud9, it's been a very back and forth game. This definitely isn't done by any stretch of the imagination. The second one of these teams looks to take control. Another comes back, Reckoning goes in, Uran on the entry. A great start, and while Oxy caught moving, they've been doing these late round executions, 20 seconds on the clock, as they will get that plant in. There is a lockdown available, but do C9 want to use it?
I don't think it's the right call. 3 versus 5. Even if you do push them off the A site, you better find picks as they make their way out. And they're not finding picks without punish on the other side. Kaeda with a triple yet again. He had some quieter rounds after the initial pistol, but he's very much found himself online. It's okay, Laz, we didn't see it. 29 HP left on Jake. He's got another 1v2. Making his way in. Is he going to go for this? Sticking it inside his smoke. That's probably his only play, but 1 bullet and he's down. He's pushed and tried to take on Hero Ron, but, well, another big smile on his face as he wins another round for his squad. 12-9, map point. And they've got 3 chances to close this out. I'll tell you what, Tom, the big deal is if C9 win 1 round, put it 12-10, ZETA might go down to pistols, so they've got the work cut out for them.
Hey, I'm looking at Sugar Zero with 5,000 credits. It might take a little bit more than that, but maybe credits.
Bladestorm Online too if they lose and so on. But
as long as they have,
honestly, I just feel like
the thing, though, the players who would have them would probably be Uran and Hero Ron, who are the exact players who are with the Sheriff. So I don't know. pressure building for Cloud9. As said, like, they come off the back of a decent tournament. Whippy not being here is definitely disappointing, but Curry, he's a top fragger in the whole server. He's the super sub.
Nuts.
He's been playing well, so I do think going into this round, as said, it's not done until it's done. We've seen swingbacks already throughout this. They won 4 in a row earlier. Can they do it again?
We haven't seen Uran get to show off his Viper's Pit yet. He used it on C-Long on the defense, but they didn't push into him. They avoided him naturally. This time, though, that ult is so much more useful. You get a site, you take space, and then you lock it down. It's going to be very tough for C9 if they do lose some of those opening fights. They might just see this map slip out of their grasp.
Yeah. Come on. We do have ourselves another tactical timeout. Chance for Imi to see what he can do, see if he can breathe some life into this team. As said, they won't be dead and buried, and chances are, as said, C9 high seed going into that lower match. They play one of the teams that they'd be very much expected to beat, but they're also in a game of a team that they were expected to beat.
That's the difference, right? Like, this is the 3rd seeded team coming into this, and an event where you've got one of, if not the best team in the world. This is certainly somewhere that
teams above them are Fnatic and DRX.
Yeah.
So
you know, you're
below them.
You're in a exactly.
There you
you're
go.
in a very prestigious position. And if you
go.
were to redo that seeding after this matchup, I think ZETA get a whole lot higher up.
Yeah.
They're looking unreal to start. And this attack side slowed down. They're not going to be going for C. Instead, changing direction and hoping to draw rotations with that early push.
The thing with that Viper's Pit as well, you have to bear in mind, it's almost like a game of chicken. With Curry having a lockdown, you might even deny him using it just because he wants to try and stop that Viper's Pit later, but it's crunch time now. So chances are you need to try and find some decent entries so that you can have an advantage in that afterplant for when the lockdown is played. Again, Zeppa hunting for that early information, but nothing really found. ZETA have been happy to play very, very far back and slowly make their move. They're doing it again. Curry is the only player in position. But of course, with that lockdown, he can't take a risk. He can't aggressively move in. And in fact, he's going to place the lockdown. The question is, yeah, they're just going to get the plant and get out of there. I say that. Kaeda's just gone down trying to make an aggressive play.
Oh, Pit's going to be used up, and it looks like there's a safe space to hide inside of. Down there on long, never mind.
Safe.
Uran's being caught. Oxy now playing inside of smoke, opening up a few more angles, but Sugar Zero punishes. Defuse on the way, half already. They've got to push through. Laz makes it in. He spotted their defusing, but they can't deny. Time has run out as C9 just stick it underneath ZETA's nose. That was a messy round. One where C9 commit quite a bit in terms of ultis, but they needed to.
Yeah, the thing is the same can be said for the other side. Like, everything now basically wiped off the table in terms of ults, especially for ZETA. So, yeah, you've got the Blade Storm. That can be something that plays a part. But the rest of the ults probably won't come online unless you're going to see, like, Laz get 4 kills and still lose and pick up an orb. Then maybe he has it for the final round of regulation. But he is still very, very far away. They've made that ultimate more expensive. So he's looking at 9 orbs now. Kaeda, though, he is going to have himself that Blade Storm. Not been the most impactful ult for him thus far. Normally, he has it, and then the pistols do all the work. There's no pistols to be had this time around. In fact, ZETA have the finances for purchases even if they lose this next one.
What colossal victory this would be for the ZETA squad. Yeah, tough round to do it in. Look at the side of C9. And they've got no ultimates to bounce them back, bring them back into some of these rounds. Zeppa is being spotted. They're using utility. They're trying to bait him out. They'll get a flash out of him, but
Well, they're faking that they're isolating him.
The Tiger's seen it open. That's all the info now. C9 know that this is not a play towards the A site. Maybe even an early flank. I thought Vanity was going to go behind them, and that might have actually gotten them dividends. Oxy picking up the first, swinging out wide on long, but it's smoked. Players now making it out of Garage. The spacing good, but the return is fantastic. Oxy goes down to a snake bite. Uran has to try and recover, but he'll be spotted and deleted by Jake. C9 have done well. They've made it all the way to round 24, and they need to win it to push us to an overtime.
Yeah, Jake's definitely been one of the quieter performances on C9, but that was a great hold from him. Ring around the rosy, constant reposition to make it more difficult for them to find him. That's a pretty nice shot from Oxy as well, but just a solid hold. And that's one of the things I feel like C9 have done well. It's just hunting for that information, quickly rotating, and then just having a lot of good utility out of the likes of Vanity, especially those stuns once more, just causing issues. And Odin's been purchased up for that early
Vanity,
ball
I
back.
love you. I love you, Vanity.
Just as we see with Mitch's Odin, 0 damage.
There's no need for that, Tom. That's emphatically not true. Usually do at least 20. Vanity's got unlucky. Screw you. Screw you, man.
Oh, a little game of chicken. Now, I will say, when Uran's been holding these angles, he doesn't move. Oh, he moved.
He moved. Yeah, you're a liar. It's all right. We know it.
But he's back in his corner again.
Zepp is waiting to pop this flash. It's going to come out of him soon, with noise being made on A long. He's really biding his time. And, you know, that angle's not being watched by anything other than the turret. It's got a lot of faith in it. Other flash just came back online. I expected to see it burned up by now, but waiting for contact. There's the flash now. No follow-up. The stun comes in. Uran is down, but the trade is good. Sugar Zero must have avoided that stun perfectly. And now the rotations are coming in, Tom. They're moving towards the A site on C9, but ZETA have other ideas. That idea is to walk into Oxy, someone that's been delivering round after round. The pressure now for him as he stands in the way of their victory, but they're rotating back, leaving one player to lurk up close. Kaida got such a good position now. With these steps being heard elsewhere, I thought maybe they would be a little careless, but no, good shutdown.
Will they even know that Heroron's got this far? 15 seconds left. They have to go and retrieve the spike. Vanity just looking to try and delay. They need to get this plant into position. They're throwing nanos just to try and delay them, stun through, but Laz has managed to dodge the utility aftershock to force him out of position. Laz fighting tooth and nail, but they didn't know Heroron was there. Laz has found another. It comes down to Jake in a 1v2, and ZETA are going to close it. They guarantee themselves a spot in the quarters tomorrow and a brand new roster. Multiple youth players coming in has just toppled C9 in game number 1.
What an incredible display from the team with the home field advantage. Fan favorites, and they have delivered here in front of the Japanese crowd. They are going crazy for this squad. The new hope